Well, hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Outpost Review. What I was doing is making myself a nice cutting board. I found a nice piece of wood here, and I figured that I would kind of shave it down one end, which was hard to tell now. I guess it was this end right here. Yeah, the small end was kind of crooked, so I basically planed them both off at about 90, and it primarily had about a 40-degree angle on it all the way around, so that's what I kept. So yeah, I think that's really going to make a nice cutting board. So I'm going to put it up there in the outdoor kitchen. You know, I'm really amazed at all of the battery operated tools that my son has got me. You know, I guess I'm kind of maybe like a lot of other people. I was very reluctant when he said, well, Dad, why don't I buy you some battery operated tools since you're up there and all you have is a generator? I'm like, no, every tool that I've ever had has had a cord on it. But I'm going to tell you something. I didn't realize the technology had changed on the tools. For example, this battery right here, this is a 20 volt to 60 volt. I guess it's what you call a multi-volt. You can plug it in a 20 volt piece of equipment, or something that uses more power like this one right here. But and it changes on its own. But I will tell you that the lithium ion technology plus the technology in the motors and all of the different tools that they have nowadays, you know, I'm very impressed, because cordless tools have come a long way. So this right here is the planer that he got me, and of course this right here, you've seen me using both of them if you've watched this channel any length of time, or our Smoky Mountain Outpost channel, is the Matabo Skill Saw. And I'll tell you, through just regular everyday use, these tools may last me, and I'm talking about building and what I'm doing up here, will last me 2 full days and possibly into the third before I have to change them, and I'm using them all day long. So yeah, it's really nice to have tools that, you know, don't have cords attached to them, especially when you're working a loft. And it's also nice to have tools that have the power to do what you need to do. Yeah, that's a lot better. Yeah, that's going to be a really nice cutting board, and it's all natural. And it's something that came off the property right here. I've got some other tools that I want to talk to you about, so let's go up to the outdoor kitchen. Well, you've probably seen me using these tools as well, and I wanted to elaborate on them a little bit more. This company EcoFlow had sponsored one of our videos, and I just wanted to talk about it some more, as well as these 2 new tools that my son had got me, plus this new tool right here that came in the mail from SnapFresh. I'll be doing a review on it as well, but I'll tell you, and all of this stuff is cordless, and I'm certainly glad that in this off-grid situation, you know, working up here in this homestead, that I have the ability to be able to not only, you know, purchase these to be able to use them, but to have the, you know, freedom from power, since I don't have any power up here, I do have to get the batteries charged. I do that at my sister's house, but then I'm free to use these for several days without having power up here. So, you know, it's really come in handy in an off-grid situation like this. So, first of all, let me start out talking about, this is probably the newest item that I have bought. Matabo did not sponsor us in any way. This is something that my son purchased. This is a finished nailer. It's a 16 gauge, and it is the same battery as my skill saw. So I'm able to interchange the batteries. I've got 3 of these, depending on which one I'm using. And you know, they last, like I said, several days just with regular use. But I'm really proud about this nailer right here, because so far it has worked wonderfully, and it hasn't got hung up. The only drawback to it was if I press this down like I'm going to nail something, and I need to go ahead and shoot the nail, because I guess it times itself out. But right back down in here is where you turn it on and off, and it's got some different settings, you know, that you can do. And also it's got a locking mechanism right here that I guess keeps you from pulling this back. So yeah, it's a really nice item to have, especially when you're doing small work like that paneling that I'm putting up in there, or I guess if you were building kitchen cabinets and things of that nature. But since I've got a lot of that paneling to put up in there, we went ahead and broke down, because these are expensive, and bought this. But hopefully I'll have it for a lifetime. But I can't really remember what the cost of these 2 items were. It was around $500 for the 2. So they're not cheap, but I will tell you this, that if you ever go cordless, and if you ever can break the idea like I did, that old school, you know, the corded stuff was all you needed, then I think you would certainly be surprised at the power that these things have and how long they will last. It's got a nice little hanger right here too that you can use to hang up on a stud, you know, or on the ladder or something if you're using it. It's really nice to have. Anyway, I just wanted to show you this. This is one of the newest items that we got. And then this jigsaw right here. This has really come in handy, and it's quite heavy. I'm surprised. Now they do make other models. This one right here is an 18 volt 3 amp hours. So this battery is a little bit different, so I have to have a different charger for it. But they did send the charger, and they actually sent the charger with this one too. But you know, this thing is really nice too. It seems to cut true. It seems to be built well. It seems to be heavy duty, and I'm enjoying this so far, because you know, the other one that I have has a cord on it, and if I was to cut out all the receptacle holes on the plywood, now I can do it with a keyhole saw, you know, on the drywall, a hand saw, but I needed something to be able to use on the plywood, and then when I go to do plumbing and things like that, it'll probably come in really handy as well there. So this right here, I'm glad that we got these 2 items. I hated to spend the money for it, but you know, like I said, it's something that hopefully I'll have for a lifetime and never have to purchase it again. This is something new that Snapfresh sent to us, and it feels like this is an impact wrench. It's fairly heavy, and it feels pretty substantial, like the Milwaukee impact driver that I have. So I'm looking forward to being able to use this. I haven't had, you know, this would have really come in handy when I was putting that angle iron on, but they sent also these right here, which is 4 different sockets that go on the end. The largest one, of course, is 23 millimeters, and the smallest one looks like it's 17. And then I've got a 19 and a 21. So those should come in really handy on different things. Feels like it's got a lot of torque. So yeah, I'll be doing, and they sent a charger as well as the battery. So I will be doing a review on this soon, because I haven't had a chance to use it yet. But it's really nice to have, you know, different tools for different jobs, because it's hard to do this, you know, a good job if you don't have the right tool. You can try to improvise, and sometimes it comes out okay, but sometimes it doesn't. So it's nice to have good tools. Anyway, they also sent a little bitty clip that you can actually put on the drill over here. Take that little screw out, and that thing would mount in there for, you know, putting it on your tool belt or something. And it all came in a nice little case to be able to carry it in. If I can get it all back in here. But you know, these companies, they reach out to us and they want to send you this stuff to try it out. And you know, if it looks like it's something that I can use, then I will try to work with them. But see, it's a nice little case right here that it goes in. And you know, that's something that we don't mind sharing with you, and I try to give it an honest review and compare it to something that I have. So this, like I said, this will be a video that will be sponsored by SnapFresh for sending that to us, and then we will review it and do our best to be honest about it and tell people about it. And so if it's something that you can use, then we will certainly be happy to make you aware of it if you weren't aware of that company and tools like this. Now the other item is this EcoFlow power station. This company actually sponsored one of our videos. They sent this to us. Well, actually they reached out and they asked us if we would be interested in trying it and doing a review on it. And since it was a power station, I was like, you know, of course. After we checked into a little bit, you know, about the company and so forth, and you know, it appeared to be a decent setup. So they sent it to us. This is what I got first, and I used this for about a week. I think it was maybe a week and a half before we got this, because they were actually out of stock on where they had shipped this from, and then they sent this later. This is a backup, but this has really come in handy here on the off-grid homestead. You know, the only power that I had up here was a generator, and then the power tools when I would charge up the tools and have the batteries to operate. Now my son did buy me an adapter that goes on my Milwaukee that I can actually plug my USB in and charge my phone and things like that. But you know, that's very minimal because the batteries aren't that big. But this power station right here holds 720 watt hours of power, and it's really nice because there's a display right here on the front that tells you, of course, you know, what the percentage of battery it is that you have. I know you probably can't see this because the sun is shining on it, but then over here on this side it will tell you how many hours this thing is going to last based on what you've got plugged in and how much it's drawing. Over here on this side it will tell you exactly how much that piece of equipment is drawing. So for example, if I plug in my cell phone right here to charge it and turn it back on, right now it's drawing nothing. If I plug this in to charge it, it comes up and it says that it is drawing 13 watts of power to charge this battery. So in this condition, I've got 20% battery. This will last 19 hours with that thing plugged in if it didn't take a complete charge and was just, you know, like another piece of an equipment that you would plug in there. But yeah, it's really nice to have this thing because up here, you know, I have the ability to be able to recharge batteries if I need to, cell phone, different types of equipment. I have the ability to plug in my, you know, I mentioned this on the other channel that I had plugged in my television, my Blu-ray, DVR. I've got some lamps in there that I went and bought LED bulbs, and was able to plug in my cell phone, and I had my fan plugged in there too, my battery operated fan that I can recharge it, and I was pulling about 70 watts. And I can sit down in the evening, I can watch you know, TV for 2 or 3 hours before I go to bed, and if I just have the TV and the DVR plugged in, I'm only pulling about 35 watts. You know, it would last for a whole week or more, just, you know, with the use of that right there. But under normal circumstances, what I've been doing, like I said, recharging my phone, watching some movies in the evening, have the light turned on, have my fan plugged in to recharge it. I actually do take the batteries, because I've got all my chargers up there at her house, I take the batteries up there and recharge them, so I just have that other stuff plugged in that I'm using on this, and I only have to go and recharge this. Well, I tell you, I do edit videos. Now sometimes I might sit there for 3 hours editing a video, but with all that mixed together, it's lasting me 3 or 4 days before I have to go back up and recharge these. This right here is a backup. This is another 720 watt hours that you can plug up to this to give you a total capacity of 1440. So that's really nice to be able to have this backup to go with this. Now this is the cord that actually plugs the two together right here, and you know, this is just basic. Since it's a backup, it's got a light right here that tells you the percentage of battery that's left on it, and it's just got the plug-in back here, but it's got the same type of case. They're made alike. This is the main unit, and of course this is where I had it plugged in. Now on this side right here, it's got 3 AC ports that are really nice, because on my computer, my hard drives, I've got them plugged into a 3-way, so I can just plug that one in here. And then of course the lamp over there at my desk, because I'll carry this over and move it to my desk when I'm over there editing videos, plug the lamp in. And so I can sit there, you know, even at night, and I can edit the videos, and I still have an extra plug-in. And this button right here actually turns on these outlets on this side. On the front, it's got a DC outlet port right here. This is how you turn it on and off. And then you got a couple of plug-ins right here if you have that type. It's got a fast charge right here. This is normally where I will charge my phone. And it's got 2 USB-A ports right here. Then it's got a USB-C, which is 100 watt right here. It's got a cool little light right here that will turn on. It has a dim and a bright, and it also has a flash like an SOS. Now I know I covered this before on another video, but I'll tell you, I wanted to talk a little bit more about it because this is so handy to have. You know, if you like to go camping, you know, and you're not like a backwoods camper, this would be something that you might want to consider taking along with you, because you could power different things that you might need to, and probably have enough power to last you, you know, a couple of days if you like camping for 2 days, or if you're just doing an overnighter. Really nice to have. And I'll tell you, living out here, the power goes out quite often. Sometimes, you know, in the summertime, if you have a lot of lightning and thunderstorms here in the mountains, if it hits a tree and knocks it across the power line, you know, you're out until they come fix it. In the wintertime, you know, it's trees falling over with heavy snow, stuff like that, basically the same thing. So every once in a while you got a motor vehicle accident where they hit a line, you know, and something like that happens. But um, it would be nice to have a backup, you know, to be able to plug in, to have, you know, and what I do around here is minimal, but to have minimal capabilities to be able to continue to do things if you needed to do so. So this has really come in handy for me out here, so I can imagine, you know, what it would do for people in town, people with RVs, you know, things like that. So that's the reason that I'm talking about it again. Over here, it's got a place where you can actually plug in. This is where I charge it now with power because I don't have solar panels. I don't know how long it would take to charge it up with solar panels, but it takes me about 2 hours, hour and a half to 2 hours to charge both of these with them hooked together to complete 100% charge if it's down around 10%. It takes about, I think it was 50 minutes to an hour to charge this one by itself to a complete charge. So it also has the spot over here to plug in your solar panels to recharge those. And I'd like to get some solar panels to be able to, you know, during the day when I'm doing other things and I'm not actually using these, I can actually trickle charge it back up to a certain percentage. You know, I don't think that it would charge it up fully just one day of solar, but you know, at least I'm not wasting the energy that the sun is providing by being able to, you know, recharge it up some. And so that's something that I need to look at getting here pretty soon. But yeah, this is the EcoFlow River Pro, and if you will look down in the description section, I know I mentioned it on the other channel that they sponsored, but I'll go ahead and mention it again. I'll have my son put it in there, but down in the description section you can find a link. You just copy and paste that, go to their website. They're offering $150 off their Delta Pro. I believe that's what they call it, because they have different models. Then they're offering $50 off of this one right here, the River Pro. Let's see, I've got this up here in a text that he has sent me. Yeah, here it is. There's a coupon code for, now this is for US based people only. It's $150 off the EcoFlow Delta, $50 off the River Max, the River Pro, which is this one, the River Pro Extra Battery, which is this right here, their 160 watt solar panel. So you can take advantage of that if you're interested in one of these. There are 2 different codes for the above discounts, so be sure that you take the code that is on the item that you're looking to purchase. Anyway, I know that I have covered this somewhat, but I wanted to cover it again because it's been really valuable up here at the Off-Grid Homestead. You know, I did get a comment, and a lot of times you get a comment and they're not always positive, and I commented back to the individual and I said, you know, the reason that I got this and the reason that I do what I consider a valuable piece of equipment as far as a sponsorship from a company is because when we run into a product like this, you know, we want to share it with other people and make sure that they're aware about it, because I didn't, you know, until this company reached out, I didn't even know that they were available. So I was glad that they did, because, you know, like I said, it's a very important piece of equipment for me, just like the rest of these tools up here. So just want to be able to share that with you guys and let you know that this company does exist, and if you're interested or have the need for this, I will be sure and tell my son to put the link, like I said earlier, down in the description where you can copy and paste that and take advantage of those discounts. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and put these up, and we're going to go check out the garden. What's left of my cucumber plants, I actually had one here, and 3 more over there, but I had covered them up in the freeze and they didn't fare too well. These are the ones that actually made a comeback, so these are the ones that I just, you know, been busy with everything else. I didn't replant any. I might stop by and check and see if they have any left, and if they do, I might stick one in the ground. But cucumbers are actually looking well. I've got one that's getting ready to run right here, and then I've got some shoots that are coming off of them, and so they're looking good. This cilantro, I mean, check that out. It actually went crazy. Like within a week, this whole thing grew up right here. So this, you know, I got more cilantro than I know what to do with now. Jennifer's going to have a great time making salsa with that, because that's primarily, smells so good, what we are used the cilantro for. But let's take a look at the tomatoes. I've actually got, there's one here, there's one over there, there's one there. Several of the plants are already started making tomatoes, and they're well over knee high. They're about up to, some of them about up to my pocket now, but they like jumped out overnight too. I think what I'm going to do on this cane right here that I placed is I'm going to run some across the top, and then I'll run one around the border, and that will kind of lock it in, and they will all support each other. So because as these plants grow up, they'll get way up here. It's going to put a lot of weight on this stick right here. But yeah, the tomatoes are really looking good. And then the beans, these beans started going bananas too. These runners, when I put them up here, you know, they were kind of like right here. And this one has already grown up to the top of the cane, as well as this one right here. Those are fixing to take off. It's going to be, the beans are going to be crazy too. But you know, and there's two different kinds of beans in here. I don't even remember which kind I planted. But these over here look a little bit different than these. I can't really remember what these were, but I should, you know, have quite a few beans off of these. And then I have some corn. The corn is looking fabulous. This is the section that I didn't have anything that I had in mind in planting this year here. So I decided I had some corn. I decided to go ahead and put that in the ground. But that's coming up. This is the golden sweet corn, so that will be nice to have a few ears of that come late summer. And then I'm going to show you my broccoli, cauliflower, my cabbage over here. You know, I sprayed these the other day. It seems like there are certain plants that they want to pick on. This one right here is not like the one next to it or the one behind it. They wanted to pick on this one for some reason. There they are right there. I actually had sprayed them, but now I find them underneath. So I'm going to go ahead and pick those little caterpillars off, and hopefully this thing will continue to produce and make out. The cabbage is looking fairly well. I did have something chewing on it, but I hope when I sprayed it the other day that I got rid of a lot of that. But like I said, they're only picking on certain ones primarily. That one back there, they just about ate it all. But now that I found them, I will certainly go get that spray and I will spray them. The peppers, I actually got a few peppers, even though the plants are really tiny, but I got a pepper hanging there, got one starting there, got one back here, over there. These pepper plants, I didn't replant them. They had actually seemed like they got stunted when we had the last frost, and I covered them up, and like I said, been so busy with everything around here, I didn't replant those. Of course, that's not really an excuse. I could actually stop and pick them up, but like I said, my mind's been on other things. But then, you know, the ones that did make it are doing fairly well, so I'm excited about that. And then the onions are doing well too. I'm actually going to start doing some clipping, selective type clipping on these onions, and using that in some of my cooking. So I'm excited. Now, these were onion sets. I'm going to try the onion slips next year, because from what I understand, those are the ones that makes the great big onions, the onion slips. So that's what I'm going to work on next year, and try to get my hands on some of those and put those in the ground. Well guys, hey, it's getting late. I got a call. I've got some mail over at my sister's house. I'm actually going to run up there and pick it up, and I'm going to take my power station up there and recharge it, and I'll come back this evening and watch me a good video before I go to bed. But my son, my daughter, and I, we really thank you guys for watching this channel as well as our main channel. I know that I covered the EcoFlow on the other one, but you know, it's been so valuable to me, I wanted to talk about it again. And if you missed the opportunity of seeing that video, that's the reason that I covered it again. Plus the other tools that I've been using here, you know, I could recommend that nailer and also that jigsaw. Been using it, and they work really well. I will get the video out on the Snap Fresh impact wrench. I'll have to find something that I can use it on, but we'll try it out and see how well that works. And anyway, but my son, my daughter, and I, we really appreciate it from the bottom of our heart. Be sure, if you're new to this channel, check out our main channel, Smoky Mountain Outpost. Go to our website, check out, because we do monthly giveaways. All the details are there. We'll soon be giving away 2 chainsaws when we reach 40,000. And my son and I and daughter were talking about thinking on giving one of the power stations away up to 50,000, because that will be a $750 value. We'll add something to it, because that station, if you buy it straight up, I think it's about 650 bucks. So we were thinking that that would make a really nice gift for somebody, and we'll add something to that to make the value, you know, what it says on our website. But anyway, yeah, be sure and when those videos come out the first of the month, be sure and make a comment on that video, because that's how you enter. So we want everybody to have the same opportunity. Anyway, thank you guys so much for your support. We hope everyone has a great afternoon. Take care, and we look forward to seeing you back up here at the cabin again next time.